Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Future Ready channel. Today we're going to talk about social media presence, specifically how our employers research us and how we appear online. Everything does not need to be seen by everybody. Ensure that all of those funny things are not things that are going to influence your future employer. First up, let's talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is your professional profile. When I say professional, I mean that LinkedIn serves as your public resume. This means you want to make sure you have a professional headshot on it. You want to have all of those components from your resumes, and you want to ensure all of that is available to the public. Another really cool feature that LinkedIn has, you can go in, put in your resume, and it'll create a bio for you. And you can go in, adjust it, change any language, and ensure that it reflects you honestly. On LinkedIn, folks that you've worked with and folks that you have connections with are able to endorse those skills you say you have, which is also a plus. Hiring managers will go online and they'll have the opportunity to see how many people have worked with you and can verify that you have a specific skill set. On many job applications, a hiring manager will ask for your LinkedIn profile. This means that they're really going to look at it. Spelling, grammar, all of those things are very important. Professional language, making sure you have those action verbs on your profile. That all helps a hiring manager to ensure that there's consistency between your resume and your public online presence, as well as that you have all of the skills that you say you do. It's very important to use LinkedIn in a smart way. I'm not leaving funny comments. I'm not being snarky and trying to interact with friends like I might on Instagram. LinkedIn is the place where you want to react to things happening, tell people congratulations for the things that they post. You also want to comment on articles and things. LinkedIn is a professional profile. So when you use LinkedIn, you want to make sure that you are not using it like you may use your other social medias. We're going to talk a little bit about how to use those other social medias as well as what's appropriate to post there in just a second. Let's talk about some other forms of social media. I am someone that has a LinkedIn profile that I use professionally, but I also have my X and I have my Instagram, both of which are private. Let's talk about why. First of all, I've had my Instagram and my X for at least 10 years. So I was a teenager when I started these things. This means that there are a lot of teenage pictures, teenage thoughts, teenage funnies on there. I want to ensure that employers and people that I come across in my professional network don't necessarily have access to those things that I said and thought when I was 13 to 16 years old. One of the things to consider when you're preparing your social media in a hiring process is whether or not you should clean your social media up or make it private. Because if you can't clean it up, you should probably just make it private. Keep in mind that anything that you post can really impact someone's first opinion. There are some options, though. You may consider having your own personal profile as well as a different persona. So let's say you're a creative. If you're an artist, you may have your art page where you want people to go to, you'll link people to, you'll guide them to see your work. But you may also have your private personal Instagram, maybe even a Finsta, where nobody can find you. So you want to ensure that that place where you're playing around, where you're posting things that others may not receive well, you have that in a private space. Your online persona really matters, and when you post it, it's there. So you want to make sure you're smart about it. For some careers, it's very important to develop an online portfolio. This is when that link tree comes in that you can put on your Instagram profile that leads people to your website, to your portfolio, to a place where you may be selling prints. You want to use these kinds of things to ensure that when people do access that professional page, they're able to see your work, they're able to have evidence of what you're doing, and you're able to guide them in the direction you want them in. One of the other most important things about that online presence, specifically that portfolio, is that it's curated. You don't want to have absolutely all of your work there, but you do want to ensure that the most important work and your best work that you want folks to see is available to them when they click on your page. If you're not sure about curating, reach out to someone you know, another expert in the field that can really help you to figure out if you have the right thing being displayed, if you have the right messages being communicated, and get some eyes on it before the real eyes are on it. There's some other information available about what to and what not to put in your portfolio, as well as online presence, in our Future Ready episode with Rickey Henry.
How do you develop that professional portfolio, and what should I have in it? Big blank.
I would include, my picture, a brief bio, a little bit about myself, and just an overview of my skills and qualifications, and then the actual proof of those skills and qualifications. So if I'm saying that I'm excellent in branding and things like that, then I want to have where I've designed
Yes, a methodology don't hurt either.
curated, these brands. You want to show your range as well. The greater the variety, the greater the range that you have, more likely it is that you'll be hired by a potential client or picked up by a firm. I have who I am as Rickey Henry, but I also have a social media presence where I have a different persona with some of the same characteristics and core values that Rickey has, but they show up different. Like
The audience.
I'm a biker and I do biker things. I take cross country trips and things like that. And so when I'm curating and crafting my content for that, you have to be aware of that. It's like a real life algorithm. You're gonna attract what you put out, and you have to be mindful and careful
Yes.
of what you put out, because first impressions last a long time. Like,
Period.
I know I'm giving you a lot of information here, but I want you to take away two specific things. Your professional online presence is very important, so make sure that LinkedIn profile is up to date and looking good. Second, everything does not need to be seen by everybody. Ensure that all of those funny things are not things that are going to influence your future employer. Keep it private, keep it clean, make sure your social media presence is appropriate. Thank you for joining us on this Future Ready episode. Look forward to seeing you next time. Like scrolling on the piece of paper.